Okay. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The package was nice. Sami Zayn can talk. Imagine that. I would have never known that. When he worked for me, he was a Spanish mute. So once again, the fuck? It wasn't difficult. Take fucking mask off and get some kind of name and get the power of speech if you're going to work for a fucking television company. Anyway, here's what they did. Shane entered, and then they played Daniel's package and Bryan's package, and he had a huge entrance, and he was over, obviously, and yes, and the place was rocking, right? And then Steen and Zayn hit the ring from behind and jump him and start a brawl and lay Daniel Bryan out at ringside with double team move and the power bomb on the apron, right, and all that shit. And the medical crew comes over to check on him, and everything comes to a standstill. And then Shane decides to go on 2 versus 1. And Shane can't punch, but his other shit's pretty good. It's probably all stiff, because I know when he just hugs you when he likes you, what it feels like. Then they get heat on Shane. And while they're apparently Daniel Bryan is going to be taken back to the hospital by the medical crew, and Shane is fearless and crazy and still staying alive in this thing, but finally he's incapacitated, and Daniel Bryan comes in for a save, and the crowd wakes up, and then he gets the fucking hot tag, and here we go. And finally, Daniel Bryan taps Sami Zayn. I wanted to like this, and it wasn't because of Steen and Generico either. They just had Shane, and I like Shane, and I like Bryan Danielson. Shane's sister just had the perfectly set up match, and this one goes for the stinker of a setup of a match. How can they fuck up this return? This is how they did it. There was no need to fucking milk us further that Daniel Bryan was not going to be able to return to the ring. We've been milked for 2 fucking years, right? Think about this. And I know that they wanted to have Daniel Bryan make his big entrance and get the yes stuff going and get the dome rocking and everything, and they didn't want to spoil that, but they had the heels jump the baby faces from behind when the heels were the ones that were the wronged parties and we should have been hitting the ring hot, correct? Because the heels got the last word on the baby faces, didn't they?
They did.
All right. So then let the heels go to the fucking ring and let them cut a promo again, fucking get the people riled up, and let Shane come out on the stage and say, well, I'm sorry, but I have to inform everybody that there's due to medical reasons, there's going to have to be a substitution in this match. And Shane's dressed to wrestle, and there's no Daniel Bryan anywhere. And people go, what the fuck? And that's when Steen and Generico can fucking say, hey, we knew the guy was a coward or whatever. And Shane can say, no, I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about because of my hernia and my zabada. The doctor said I'm not allowed to wrestle, but that guy behind you is going to kick your ass, because right then here comes Daniel Bryan from behind, and people see him right there. And he starts beating the piss out of fucking Steen and Generico 2 against 1. The place blows. And he does his drop kicks in the corner, and he throws one out on the floor, and he does a dive. And he gets back in the ring, and he does a fancy fucking zabada with the other. And they're taking bumps like goddamn crazy. And he makes that extended comeback, and Shane McMahon just sits down at ringside to watch that. It's 2 against 1, and the match is going. And then the fucking referee settles it down to 1 in, 1 out. And he can do a spot with fucking Steen and a spot with fucking Generico. And in the middle of them, he can fire the people up, and he can look out at the fucking crowd, and they're going to be going berserk, right? There's your sea of yes, yes, yes. He foils their double team move. Go back to the fucking Night of Legends when the Heavenly Bodies worked with Lance Storm because Jericho had a broken arm. That match where he kicked shit out of them. Both of them for like 5 minutes. And then they cut Daniel Bryan off because you had to watch Shane selling. Owens and Zayn could have had a better match, but Shane's a green seller. The crowd died when Daniel Bryan was out on the floor, and they knew he was coming back eventually, and that's what they were waiting on. So it was dead for that point until he got back into it. This way the people would have been into it from the start. Then they double team fucking Daniel Bryan, and they get him down. and they're beating the piss out of him. And maybe they start giving him fucking shit on his head where they're trying to give him more concussions and put him out, and Shane can't take it. And finally, Shane jumps up on the apron where he's trying to take the tag. Tag me, Bryan. And now Bryan's fighting to tag Shane. But the heels don't want him to. But finally he does. And then Shane makes his comeback and does all his shit. Does the coast-to-coast shit, does all that shit. But in the process, the coast-to-coast, he hurts himself. And now they have to dust up Shane for a second, trying to beat him while Daniel Bryan's recuperating on the apron. But now will Shane be able to make the tag? And then finally, Shane somehow makes the fucking tag, and Daniel Bryan fucking dispatches everybody, dumps fucking Owens over the top rope, and taps Zayn out just like he did. And then you've got your fucking yes celebration. And the roof would have come off the fucking place. Just in my opinion. But I don't know why they did what they did. Why did they do what they did?
I can't explain it. What you just came up with was pretty good, but I can't explain it.
Damn it, ain't that difficult?
I will say, I think, I'm about to say Steen, Owens and Generico, Owens and Zayn together as heels are actually really good.
Well, yes, I'm sure they are, and that's the thing. And I never said they couldn't work. They're just fucking pains in the ass. But in this case, I didn't like the way it went.